What's going on, Shady People? ShadyPenguinn welcoming you back to another episode of Shady VGC, where we go on Battle Spot and play some Pokemon VGC style battles. We have a brand new team for you guys today, and some of you guys can already guess what's going on. I'd like to address something, and this is actually really good to address after our previous episode where we fought in Iran using the Endeavor technique level 1. So this was a team suggested by GoJays. Now I have no problem with this team. A lot of you guys were really excited to see a team that wasn't so standard in VGC. Now the thing that I hope we learn through this session is that certain things in the meta are standard because they are good. Now that's not to say that unique teams like this cannot work, and I love GoJays. He's been around for such a long time on the channel, and that's one of the biggest reasons why honestly I chose this suggestion, because he's an awesome, incredible Shady person. I appreciate his support so much, as I do everyone's support. But this is the team he suggested. This team focuses around using truant slacking and getting rid of that ability using Kecleon's skill swap move. So the rest of the team is very interesting as well. You have an Assault Vest Gastrodon with Storm Drain. You have a Choice Specs, Volt Switching, Thunderbolting, Giga Draining, Flamethrowing, Electros. You have, I believe, a Leftovers Metagross with Protect, Bullet Punch, Zen Headbutt, Meteor Mash, and then an Air Balloon Typhlosion. So mons that you definitely don't see in VGC. So that was one of the reasons I really did want to bring this team. Another reason was I plan on doing VGC a lot on the channel. I want to get into it, and I want to see if maybe we can make some cheeky stuff work like this. Like it could work, and I'm not saying it can't, and I hope it does. I would love to get some slacking KOs with this team, but I just hope that we see that maybe it's kind of difficult, and maybe you need to be a bit of a more advanced player than me, or maybe those things don't take you as far as we wish they would, because I would love to go to like grand finals with the slacking on my team. We'll see how it works out though. My opponent, Miracle, is going to bring a Tyranitar, Excadrill, Aegislash, Rotom Wash, Amoonguss, and gosh darn Salamence. So obviously the cream of the crop of the gosh darn team is the Kecleon slacking. So I think we will just lead with that for now. I could see Gastrodon Metagross being a really solid lead. You know what? I'm gonna lead Gastrodon Metagross. I really feel like that's a solid lead against my opponent's team. Oh man, but you know what? We're doing this as a lesson. We're gonna go slacking Kecleon. We're gonna get it off right away. And then in the back, I'm going to bring. I kind of want to bring the Electros because it has the Giga Drain for the Rotom Wash, and it also has the Flamethrower for the Aegislash, but it is choice, so we're not going to bring that. We're going to go ahead and bring the Metagross, who was suggested not as a Mega, so we might end up switching it to a Mega, but we're going to bring it, and then I'm going to bring Gastrodon, because we clearly see the potential for Sand on my opponent's team, and at least Gastrodon and Metagross don't get hurt by the Sand, so we're not hindered by it too much. But we're going to jump in. Like I said, we have 2 battles for this episode, and we're going to have this team for a total of 6 battles, and then of course leave your suggestions down below using the hashtag ShadyVGC, and I will try to switch it up where I'll use a standard team and then a cheeky team, standard team, cheeky team, something like that. So my opponent does lead with the perfectly fine, gosh darn Excadrill Tyranitar. So we could see a bunch of things happening here. We could see a Protect from the Tyranitar and the EQ from the Excadrill. What I'm actually going to do is I'm gonna focus on just getting doing what I think is doing the right play. I'm gonna fake out the Excadrill. Am I gonna fake out the Excadrill? I almost want to skill swap the Excadrill. No, I have to fake it out. My focus session is getting broken though, no matter what. Yeah, I'm gonna fake out the Excadrill, and I'm actually going for the EQ. Wow, he withdraws Tyranitar. I'm going for the EQ. With slacking, so kind of forfeiting. Oh my gosh, wow, that was a really good switch by my opponent. We're gonna fake out, and I think we're gonna be able to get rid of this Excadrill. It flinches, so we might be trading Excadrill for Kecleon here, and then of course our slacking is kind of oh my gosh, Kecleon eats up the EQ, which I didn't expect, to be completely honest with you guys, and we're gonna see us having to switch our slacking out for now, because honestly there's no reason to keep it in. I do expect a Will-O-Wisp on it, so I'm going to switch into Gastrodon, and then I'm actually just going to Shadow Sneak the Excadrill to finish up the little bit of HP that it does have. I don't think it'll protect. I think if it was going to protect, it would have protected turn 1 as it switched out the Tyranitar. So I think we're going to... Oh, it is going to protect. Wow, that stinks a little bit. So that definitely stinks. Protean is going to transform me into a ghost type, and the Excadrill is going to protect itself. We're going to see the Will-O-Wisp on the Gastrodon, like I said. Didn't expect anything less than that. Now, it's unfortunate because the Excadrill is still sitting there with 1 HP. I do kind of expect it to switch out. I do expect it to switch out. I think what I'm going to try to do... Oh, man. I'm going to leave the Rotom for now. I am going to Scald the Excadrill slot, and I am going to... I kind of want to switch... I kind of want to switch my Kecleon out. But I think there's a potential Will-O-Wisp coming through. So I'm actually... I'm going to... I'm going to Shadow Sneak. I'm going to Shadow Sneak the Excadrill again. Just in case. Okay, he is going to withdraw and most likely go out into the Tyranitar here. Should have seen that coming. My opponent is actually going to go out into the Amoonguss. So an even better play by my opponent. But we've seen my opponent's entire team now. Amoonguss, Rotom Wash, Excadrill, and Tyranitar. The Rotom is going to go for the second Will-O-Wisp on the Kecleon, making it kind of useless. Definitely kind of useless. We're going to Scald the Amoonguss, not going to do much at all. But we do have the Sandstorm up, coupled with a burn on the Scald, which is really nice. We're going to see the order of turns. We see that Rotom Wash is faster than Kecleon. That's kind of unfortunate for me. Now, what I would like to do, which would be cheeky, well, we have to switch our Gastrodon out, unfortunately. I'm gonna make a little bit of a risky play here. I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to attempt. I don't think it's gonna get off. I'm gonna switch out my Gastrodon. Unfortunately, I have to. I'm expecting a grass to move, so I'll go down to Metagross. And then I'm actually going to skill swap. I'm going to skill swap the Rotom Wash, kind of hoping that I can get rid of the Levitate. Just for now, at least it'll force a switch. It'll do something. I'm not sure. It'll do something, though. So the Motisma is going to go for the Thunderbolt on the Kecleon. That's going to take me out, I'm sure. Actually, I live on 10. Wow. Okay, so Kecleon is a lot... I kind of wish I would have skill swapped with Metagross now. That would have been kind of nice. Kecleon does have Levitate, although that obviously doesn't matter too much. The Giga Drain is going to come through on the Metagross. Now, I'm pretty sure we're going to be forcing this Amoonguss out right here. Kecleon is going to go down, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be forcing this Amoonguss out. I believe Metagross has Protect, so I have free reign. This is kind of the situation I wanted. I have free reign to go out into my Slacking here and go for the EQ. Because I will outspeed the Rotom Wash. It will now get hit by EQ because it no longer has Levitate. And I know that both of my opponent's mons in the back are weak to EQ. So there's a chance of this kind of turning out kind of sour, I guess you'd say. Because Slacking is going to come in here. I'm going to Protect with my Metagross. I don't want to just throw it away. I would be kind of okay with switching on it to Gastrodon, actually. I wouldn't feel too bad about doing that. But we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go for the EQ here. We have no way of getting rid of Truant now, so we kind of just have to rely on making the right plays. Metagross is going to Protect. I really hope that both my opponent's mons don't have Protect. That would be really unfortunate. Golett is going to go for the Protect, and I'm really hoping that the Rotom doesn't. The Rotom does not go for Protect, so we're going to take the Rotom out here, which is kind of nice. You very rarely see a Rotom go down. Oh, no! And then as I was speaking, I was like, oh, man, he's not going to get knocked out from this Earthquake. And there's the Will-O-Wisp on the gosh darn. Oh, Slacking dodges it! Slacking is sitting there and it dodges it. All right, so we're in a decent spot here. I'm interested. I really expected the Amoonguss to switch out, predicting a Psychic move, but I guess Protect does the same thing. It does really do the same thing. Now the question is, do I value not getting burned more? Do I value getting put to sleep more? Because his Rotom Wash is currently Fire type, and Slacking unfortunately is going to. I'm gonna Zen Headbutt. He's gonna switch the Amoonguss out because it has Regenerator, right? Yeah, I'm gonna predict him to switch the Amoonguss out because of Regenerator, and I'm actually gonna switch Slacking. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep Slacking in. I'm gonna be Truant anyway. So if we're predicting the Amoonguss to switch out, which he didn't switch out, so that's really unfortunate. And the Will-O-Wisp, wow, the Will-O-Wisp connects on the Metagross. and I really miss my Zen Headbutt. Oh, that was the worst turn I've ever seen in my entire life. I do have the Lumberry, which is kind of nice. It's definitely nice. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that if my opponent does not protect with the Rotom, he definitely does not have what he needs to have. He does not have what he needs to have to kind of deal with the Rotom. The Metagross should still be able to take out the Excadrill, so I'm going to preserve it. I'm going to go ahead and protect with it, and I'm going to go for the EQ again, because we know that I outspeed. I'm not burned. I'm really glad he didn't burn the Slacking, to be honest, which sounds kind of crazy considering I still have Truant. And this is a pretty long battle, but Metagross is going to get the Protect off. Obviously, Rotom Wash is not going for Protect, but the Golett is going to Protect. And that's, of course, that's still a problem for us. Luckily, the burn damage is kind of canceling out that Black Sludge, and EQ will take out the Rotom Wash. Now we'll see a Rotom Wash go down to an EQ. That was a really bad turn. Luckily, I was rocking the Lumberry on the Slacking. And I will definitely have to switch my... See, oh my gosh. If Metagross didn't get burned, Metagross was my win condition. I should have just switched it out that turn. I really expected him to Will-O-Wisp the Slacking. I really did. But we're gonna see either the Excadrill or the Tyranitar come in here. We're gonna see Tyrannokloof is gonna come in, and unfortunately, because the Bullet Punch put in the finest of work, we know that we will not be able to kind of handle what we have to handle. Now, I'm actually going to Zen Headbutt the Amoonguss, and I'm just gonna switch Slacking out for Gastrodon, because I think he's still gonna try to Spore the Slacking. I think he is, so he's not switching that Amoonguss out. He's not taking advantage of Regenerator whatsoever. This is a long VGC battle. Dark Pulse is gonna come through, and that's gonna hurt a lot on Metagross. It's gonna take me out, which is super unfortunate. That is really bad for us. We're gonna see a Giga Drain! Wow. I did not expect that. I really did not expect that. So that's really huge, really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. I guess I could have played this match a little bit better. That was perfect on my opponent's part. If I just stayed in with Slacking, would have been fine. Would have been fine. But instead, I switched down to the Gastrodon like a foolish fool of a took. And Golett got enough HP where it's easily going to live in EQ. It is easily, and if both my opponent's Pokemon have I don't even have Protect on this because I'm Assault Vest, so that's the only reason why I lived that Giga Drain, which is kind of surprising, but I'm just going to click EQ. If we see Double Protect, we have to forfeit because he could just play around Truant really well. There's nothing I can do to get behind it. So, first battle does not go too well at all. It was interesting throughout the match, though. I have to say it was definitely interesting the way that you can use Skill Swap. We're going to see a Dark Pulse connect onto the Gastrodon just to take it out. We're gonna see that happen right there, no problem. And then EQ, if it doesn't take the Amoonguss out, then we have no chance of winning. I don't think it will. It eats it up just fine, and so does Tyranitar, honestly, takes it just fine. It really does. And that Spore is gonna seal in the game. We're not gonna sit here and stall through. He's got 3 Pokemon to my 1. Even if I wake up next turn, like not this turn because I can't, but if I wake up the following turn, I still have to take a Dark Pulse, I have to take a Giga Drain, I have to break through, and then I have to try to outlive an Excadrill. I guess, you know what, maybe there's a slight chance. I feel like you guys would be mad if I just forfeited, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna click EQ. I'm gonna stay asleep. I'm really interested to see if Truant actually, because we could take a Dark Pulse, we could take 1. And I wonder if that counts as a Truant turn. I'm really curious. So that's the other reason why I'm doing this and staying in. Giga Drain is going to do a fine amount. And yeah, there's no chance of us winning. There's no chance of us winning because even if the Excadrill comes in and it's going to outspeed. So because it outspeeds, we're not going to be able to take a hit. He'd have to miss something, and I'm sure he's just going to click EQ. And also the Tyranitar outsped us, did it not? I believe it did. So he's got the game. We're just going to forfeit right here. We're not going to be able to see if we wake up, unfortunately. I should have just forfeited before and not wasted your time. But we're going to go for one more battle with this team in today's episode, and we will bring it back in the next 2 episodes just to see how we can do, if there's any chance of getting any cheeky wins. And that guy had a pretty low rating in comparison to ours. It was 150, 200 points lower, and we still did not manage to snag the W with this team. However, we're going to give it a shot. I don't mind using unorthodox things, even if I kind of feel like it'll lead to a loss, just because I think it's entertaining, and if it ever gets off, it would be really cool. Like I said, that battle was super interesting with Skill Swap. I think you definitely need a higher level of skill to play with this this type of team. Either that or it's just a cheeky gimmick like the Iran, but I don't know. Pokemon Fight Club. Reaver from Pokemon Fight Club is going to take us out because he's got a Cloyster, Metacam, Mamoswine, Metagross, Lapras, and Gardevoir. So not a standard team for sure, and I feel like though this team has a bit more potential because it has the Pure Power Metacham and Cloyster, which is always a monster. I'm actually going to lead off a little bit different. I'm going to leave the slacking Kecleon behind. I'm going to lead Electros, and I'm going to lead... I mean, I kind of want to lead Kecleon regardless. Let me check my speed out really quick. Kecleon's speed is 60, and Electros will get a Volt Switch off. You know, I'm going to try something cheeky. Yeah, I'm going to try something cheeky. We're gonna open up Kecleon Electros. We're gonna bring the Metagross because it hits a lot of things on my opponent's team. And then for my last mon, I will go with the Assault Vest Gastrodon because it can probably take a Hyper Voice from that Gardevoir. Gardevoir is a great team. If you leave a team suggestion with Mega Gardevoir, I'm probably gonna pick it for the next one because I'm in the mood to use her in VGC or use it in VGC, and it's just a fantastic mon. That Hyper Voice cannot be debated. It is a non-debatable move. Metacam and Metagross open up, so we can see a Pure Power Fake Out here, which will definitely put us in for a little bit of trouble. But I wanted to at least try. Now I can Flamethrower this Metagross and it'll probably hurt. I think he's gonna Protect with Metagross. That Metacam scares me more. I'm gonna Volt Switch, and I am going to Fake Out the Metacam. I think the Metacam's gonna go Metacham Champion. I'm just gonna call you Medi. Medi is not the Mega. Metagross is in fact the Mega. So I definitely would have been more interested to see, and Metagross goes for Protect. So I think we made the right play by doubling up on the Metacam. Metacam's gonna go for the Fake Out on the Kecleon, not gonna be Pure Power, and we're gonna see the Life Orb, and I'm Choice Specs Volt Switching this thing, so it should do a good amount. If it doesn't, I'll be a little upset. It just barely misses taking him out. So we do have the Shadow Sneak on the Kecleon, so we will be able to kind of do what we have to do with that. I'm gonna go out into Gastrodon because Metagross doesn't have anything to hit it with. And I mean, even Sucker Punch on Metagross would do a lot from Kecleon. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go for the Earth Power on the Metagross, as it is stab super effective, and we will Shadow Sneak this Metacham. Medi, I'm gonna Shadow Sneak Medi. I hate saying that name because everyone pronounces it differently, but we're gonna Shadow Sneak to take him out, and we're gonna get Ghost typing here, kind of hoping that somehow plays to our advantage. But no matter what, getting rid of that Mon is a good thing. Being up 4-3 is just what I wanna do. So Meteor Mash is gonna come through. Kecleon dodges it, saving you 15% or more and dodging Meteor Mashes. Earth Power is going to do a huge amount, and you might be wondering why that did so much. Well, that's because this is an offensive Gastrodon. I think it has max special attack, and I know that it's modest. So we're gonna see a Mamoswine come through, which of course is always not a fun time. I'm trying to think if there's anyone that skill swapping would be worth it. I don't think so. Tough Claws is not gonna do much. I'm gonna Scald the Mamoswine, and I am going to Sucker Punch. I do think the Metagross is going to Protect, but I'm going to Sucker Punch the Metagross. Yeah, he's going to Protect because the Mamoswine is going to be firing off an EQ. That was my fault. I should have seen that right before. It was really obvious. I'm going to change the Dark type. Not like it's going to matter. And here comes the EQ. Metagross is protecting itself, and the other two Mons are going to have to take it. I think Kecleon could take it rather well. Well, not rather well, but takes it decently well. Gastrodon is a 2-hit KO on, which is unfortunate. Scald is going to bring the Mamo down to its Sash, which is another opportunity for Kecleon to finish it up, but I do have a strong feeling, you know what, I think that's our best play regardless. Yeah, I'm gonna Earth Power Metagross, and I am going to Shadow Sneak the Mamoswine. He's gonna withdraw the Metagross, so most likely going into something that goes into the Cloyster. Cloyster does not have the best special defense. So we're going to be able to go ahead. The Ice Shard's going to come through on the Kecleon. I don't think that'll pick up the KO, though. Oh, it does. Wow. I did not expect it to pick up the KO. We're going to Earth Power this Cloyster here, which should do a decent amount because, like I said, whoa! Decent amount. That's a 1-hit KO. All right, so we do have Metagross here, which will easily be able to Bullet Punch the the rest of the Mammoth Swine away. It'll get knocked out from that, and Gastrodon can kind of follow suit on the Metagross with an Earth Power. So I think we had a pretty easy time with this one. The rest of the team is pretty good. The Kecleon, leaving the Kecleon slacking behind, this team did really well. Then again, we were versing, like I said in the beginning, another non-meta team, which is always fun. It's always fun to have these kind of battles. I really wish that more games, like, I know a lot of people hate Smogon because they break things into tiers, but I love to be able to say, hey, let's have a tier 2 VGC match where all like tier 1 stuff is banned and we have like a really interesting, I would love to start something like that up. I would need the help of someone a bit more in touch with VGC, but I'd really love to start up some sort of tier-based VGC match. And some of you guys might hate that, so let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, just because it would be cool. Like, oh, you're not gonna... I just muted myself. You're not going to see Landorus every battle. You're not going to see Mega Salamence or Mega Gar, whatever would end up being tier 1. I have no idea, but let me know what you guys think about that. I think it'd be pretty interesting. But I'm going to get the heck out of here, record the next episode of Shady VGC with this team. Have yourselves a good day. But above all else, don't forget to touch the thumb and keep it shady.